This is the easiest Asiago rustic bread you'll ever make. It tastes very similar to sourdough and it only has 5 ingredients and it's done in about 2 hours. I will be doubling the recipe, but I will have the individual measurements for one loaf in the comments down below. To some very warm water, I'm going to add 4 teaspoons of active dry yeast and let it sit for 10 minutes. After the 10 minutes are done, you can add whatever salt you like. My mom gifted me Celtic salt, so I'm going to add 4 teaspoons of Celtic salt. I'm going to mix it really well so the salt dissolves, and then in a bowl, I'm going to add 6 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to add that yeasty mixture and start mixing it together with my bread whisk. You mix it, and if it's still a little sticky like this, I'm going to add another half cup of flour and mix it until it's no longer as sticky. It will be a little sticky, it just won't be as sticky as you can see. I'm going to cover it and let it rest for about 30 minutes. After the 30 minutes is done, it should be inflated like that. And I'm going to shred 2 cups of Asiago cheese because I'm making 2 loaves. And I'm just going to fold it in and incorporate it really well. Cover it again and let it rest for 1 hour. I lost a little bit of footage, but after the hour, the bread really doubled in size. And then I'm just going to fold and stretch it about 12 to 14 times or so, rotating it so every side gets folded and stretched. I'm going to cover it and let it rest for another hour. I'm going to be using a baking pan and a wire rack, and then I'm going to place my Dutch oven on there, put it in the oven, and set the oven to 450. While the oven is warming up, I'm going to grab a little bit of parchment paper. It's optional, you don't need it. This is what the dough looks like after the hour that it was sitting. I'm going to add everything to the parchment paper and divide it into 2 pieces so I can make 2 loaves. I'm going to lightly flour my dough, and I'm just going to fold and pull it to create a nice little ball. Shouldn't take very long. After you've created your nice little ball, I like to add a little bit more flour and start scoring it. I'm just going to grab a sharp knife and cut a little square into it and a little bit more of Asiago cheese. Once the oven is ready, so is your Dutch oven, I'm going to place my bread in there and I'm going to add 4 ice cubes to create that nice steam you can see. Cover it and bake it covered for 25 minutes. After the 25 minutes is up, I remove the lid and cook it for another 10 to 15 minutes until it's golden brown. And it's that simple. It is so delicious and so easy to make. If you're having a hard time with sourdough, I would suggest giving this a try. It's a little bit more refined than my original rustic bread recipe. If you give this a try, please let me know in the comments down below. This is so good.